Hello everyone, my name is DimitriusMac, and welcome back to another episode of Tips, a series where I give unorthodox yet effective tips on how to succeed in video games. Today, folks, I'm going to be giving you some tips in Overwatch, not in anything spectacularly specific, but in something more of a broader sense. I'm going to be talking about, as you may have read in the title, folks, I'm going to be talking about how to utilize the free-for-all to get better simply at one-on-one situations, or not just one-on-one situations, but to simply get better at competitive if you're a solo queuist. Because for us solo queuists, we know that there are a lot of problems that exist going into competitive as a solo queuist, whether it's just like the team comp being toxic, or people just not taking it seriously, or simply being matched up with people who don't have enough expanded roles. What I mean by expanded roles is that you only play a handful of characters. You may be a person that only plays one type of DPS and two tanks and no healers at all. And to be honest, if you're going to be a solo queuer on Overwatch, and if you want to get far, anything meaningful, you're probably going to want to expand your role. And that's where I believe free-for-all comes in. And some of you may be thinking, you know, why can't I go to quick play? Quick play is basically competitive minus the, the SR and everything. And I'd have to disagree with that, because honestly, in quick play, you don't know what you're going to get. You can get multiple characters. You can get people who are not taking things seriously. There's no guarantee that the other team is going to be taking things seriously. And I feel like you don't get the fullest range to explore a certain character. And that's what I'm going to be talking about here. Using the characters that you want to use in free-for-all, it gives you the most range out of any game mode in the game, because you get to fully explore things one-on-one. Nobody is helping the other person. Nobody is helping you. It is simply just you going back and forth with matchups. And honestly, if you're in a free-for-all, I highly doubt that you're going to get 8 people who are all just messing around and who are all just throwing, as I guess you could say, because that has not happened to me. Now, that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened to somebody else out there. I'm sure it has, but I don't think it's as common. And as I spoke on earlier, I believe free-for-all gives you the widest range to explore a character that you would not otherwise get the opportunity otherwise to do so. And here's why. If you're matched up with somebody and you're in a one-on-one situation, in free-for-all, you don't have any additives. You don't have anybody double teaming you, or you may have somebody double team you, but it's not for the objective point. It's simply a skirmish. So if you're double teaming all, it's kind of not like getting double team. It's kind of like you're just in the middle, or maybe in a bad spot. But there's no additive. There's nobody's going to be healing or blocking or anything like that you would find in competitive mode. And for the purposes, obviously, of this video, I'm talking mainly about DPS, because DPS are really where you get the widest range to explore. Although, obviously, you can play as characters, in my opinion, if this video does range out to characters like a Winston or a Roadhog. But honestly, other characters like Mercy, primary role players or primary role heroes like Mercy and like Reinhardt, I'm going to exclude from this video, because I don't feel like they meet the requirements of what I'm really trying to talk about here. Yeah, sure, you can swing your hammer in free-for-all as Reinhardt, and you can do all sorts of things with Mercy now, obviously, with her ultimate and stuff. And you can obviously kill people with Mercy. She has a gun, she's equipped, she can defend herself. Yes, I do know this, folks. But what I want to talk about is something on the lines that doesn't require somebody to do their primary role. Like when you're playing as Mercy, you're more than likely, unless you're not doing your role right, you're going to be in that healing role. You're going to be stuck to somebody healing, power boosting somebody. When you're playing as Reinhardt in competitive, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be blocking and leading your teammates through the payload, or doing whatever it is to protect your teammates. Since there's no teammates to heal in free-for-all, and there's nobody to block or protect unless you're just trolling or doing some other type of situation that doesn't relate really anything to free-for-all, there's no use for these types of characters. But other types of characters, you get to explore every aspect of them, and it simply leads to one-on-one situations. And one-on-one situations, folks, are something that I feel like a lot of people don't really think about the importance of. And one-on-one situations can really determine matches. If you're a DPS versus another DPS, and you're in a one-on-one situation to take a control point or something, like that could be the difference in you getting farther enough in the control point to get that victory. Or it could be the difference in the other team if you were to fail. And I feel like one-on-one matchups are something that are very pivotal in Overwatch competitive in all the game modes, because there are so many that people don't really realize comes down to that make a huge difference in the overall outcome. And in free-for-all, I feel like you get to explore the range of all of that. Bad matchups and good matchups, because if you played Overwatch long enough, then you're going to know that there are some heroes who are absolutely not well equipped to deal with other heroes. I'll just put it lightly like that. But in a scenario like free-for-all, even if it's a bad matchup, you get to practice what you would do if coming across that matchup in competitive in a one-on-one scenario. And it's a good practice because, as I expressed earlier, there's nobody or nothing that's going to come in and heal that other player or gonna a shield that they can hide behind or something like that. And it's a really great way to test your skill with a character that you are not familiar with, and to really get better with that character. I think if you utilize free-for-all the way that you should, and the way that I feel like a lot of people people just go for the loot boxes, but even after you've gotten all 9 wins, you've gotten all 3 loot boxes for the week, I still heavily suggest that you play this game mode, especially with a character that you're really trying to learn. It's a great way to get integrated into a more diverse set that you can deploy at your leisure when you're playing competitive, especially in solo queues, because sometimes you're just going to need that extra step. You're going to need to be diverse as you can as a solo queuist, because you might be called upon to play any number of roles, and we all know how stubborn people can be, especially if you're by yourself. People may not want to listen, and you may have to make that sacrifice and play that healer and play that defense tank or whatever, even though you want to play DPS. And the more characters that you know, the more characters that you are familiar with and that you're comfortable with in doing and fulfilling their roles, I think the better. But that is just my opinion, folks. That is what I really think and what I really believe you can really ultimately utilize free-for-all for. And it's worked for me. I gotta say, it's worked for me for a number of characters, as you've seen throughout this video. I've played some Sombra, I've played some McCree. I've never played McCree before in my I think the number of times I've played McCree I can hold up on my hand, on one hand here, folks. And then it's just me seeing the difference and getting better at these characters in free-for-all, and as translated to me getting better in competitive as a solo queuist. But that's just for me. It may not work for other people. I'm just sharing this information out for people out there who may be looking for something to help in solo queues. And this is something that I found greatly helpful, is getting the experience here in free-for-all and letting myself get comfortable with all the types of characters that there are in this game. The vast majority, vast character list of characters that you and heroes that you get to play with, because it's really important, especially for solo queue. It's super important. But like I said, folks, that is just my opinion. I'd love to know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. And Tipz comes out once every month. This is the first Tipz that I've posted, I believe, in 2-3 months, and it's good to be back doing these types of things. I really like sharing this type of information with you all. So thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch another one of my videos. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, and if you're new here and you think I deserve a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And with that being said, folks, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, I'm DimitriusMac, and I'm out. Peace.
Top dog, bite them all, yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, you should be turning it up. CBT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang us in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cause homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low life, yo life, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back door.